So far this year, we have gotten 3 corporate biopics. Or I guess biopics that were focused on a product. We have even more coming out this year. We have a Pop-Tarts one by Jerry Seinfeld, and we have a Hot Cheetos one coming out this year as well. So it seems like 2023 might be the year of product biopics, product origins, corporate biopics, whatever you want to call it. But I just saw one recently that is definitely the best so far and will probably remain the best of the year, and so far one of the best dramas that I've seen this year, and it's called BlackBerry. It is very simple. It is the rise and the downfall of the BlackBerry company, the BlackBerry phone that a lot of people had in the late 90s and the early 2000s. This film is directed by Matt Johnson, and I will be honest, I have never heard of this guy before, but he has a following. He did a little show that seems like a lot of people really enjoy. He's done a couple movies before. This is not even his first feature. So even though I've never heard of this guy before, I'm definitely going to be on the lookout for Matt Johnson. I definitely plan on going to look at some of his other stuff in the past. I don't want to make this a compare and contrast between the last product movie that came out, Air, but all I will say is that Johnson has a far better understanding of telling a story like this compared to Ben Affleck doing Air. Johnson is able to capture the essence and atmosphere of that time and setting in a fascinating way. This is shot handheld, kind of like a mockumentary, similar to The Office. So that tool becomes very useful as far as humor, but not only that, this style of filmmaking and editing works for moments that feel confined and intense. The whole atmosphere is just chaotic at times. It is a blast to watch. I did find it more tense and thrilling than humorous. The main focus that might capture a lot of people's attention, it did capture mine when the trailer dropped, is that Glenn Howerton from It's Always Sunny is in this movie. He is playing Jim Balsillie, who is kind of the co-CEO. He kind of started BlackBerry. Glenn Howerton is great in this. He is tense and unpredictable. One thing that I admire about Howerton that may not feel special, because I'm sure a lot of other actors can do this, but Howerton is great at yelling. The thing about Howerton when he screams is that he truly understands when to use it for a comedic purpose. Obviously, he yells a lot and It's Always Sunny.
Tools, duct tape, zip ties, and gloves. I have to have my tools.
Dennis, it's sort of like the jean shorts, you know, where you feel...
Look at me when you're talking to me!
But when he yells in this, it is uncomfortable. They are completely different types of tones.
There are 3 reasons why people buy our phones.
Do you know what they are?
Email. They fucking work!
Yeah, okay, it's not us, Jim, it's the carrier. Verizon is doing something weird.
Okay, well, I'm about to do something weird if you don't fix this. Now!
It did take me a couple minutes to get used to him seeing bald. Obviously, when I saw him, I was like, well, that's obviously just Glenn Howerton. But within minutes of the performance, I no longer saw Glenn Howerton. I saw somebody completely different. There's a moment where it may feel like Glenn Howerton is the lead in this movie, and it becomes a story about how Balsillie and Mike Lazardus, who is played by Baruchel, are clashing heads and how the business culture affects people. Even Matt Johnson's character is clashing heads at time with these characters. And this is a part of the story. Eventually in the third act, it starts to focus a lot more on Jay's character. There's more about his dilemmas as far as what it takes to be a leader. And I think Baruchel is fantastic in this role as well. He is just fantastic at playing that awkward innovator. It's great to see him change for better or worse in this movie as he progresses. Matt Johnson plays Doug. He is Jay's best friend in this movie. Again, maybe it's because I have never seen this guy before, but he is just so good at playing this like lovable guy. He seems really cool to hang out with, at least in this movie. SungWon is also in this movie. A lot of people may know him as ProZD on YouTube. That's obviously what I know him for, but he is in this movie for maybe like 3 minutes. Not a lot of screen time, but he is great in this. It's just nice to see him do some live action work, not so much voice acting. He delivers a line so well, and you can argue that it might be one of the most important moments in the movie. It sets up an entire change for the business, and it gives character development for Jay's character. I also thought the sound design was a big factor in this movie. There are so many elements of the smaller noises that are important to certain actions and to characters. it becomes a part of their personality. When the story is a bit more focused on Jay Baruchel's character, the story seems to go in a little bit of direction for Glenn Howerton, where he is trying to purchase like a hockey team or a stadium. I know the setup for this part of the story makes sense, and I know it is showing just kind of how crazy this person is with his money, but I don't know if I completely found it necessary. I'm a little torn. I do think it adds great tension to this dilemma. It's really entertaining. It's really well made. Glenn Howerton is fantastic in this moment. But also, did this scene happen the exact same way that the film is portraying it? Because if not, then what was the point of this scene? Was it just to show the downfall for him? I don't know. I think you could have cut part of this and his climax still would have been intense and just as effective. If you were wanting to see something exciting, go see this. The camera work is awesome and it adds intensity and utilizes humor. There are tons of great performances in this. It's also just nice to see Howerton in a compelling role, and he's truly able to demonstrate how fascinating he is as an actor, and it's really inspiring, I guess, to see how far he'll go as far as roles like this come. It may be weird that we're just celebrating movies that are celebrating a product, but it talks about a lot of more things than that. It talks about dumb actions that led up to this and that led to the downfall of this. It's just a story about a company that inevitably just couldn't keep up with the current technology because of dumb decisions, stubbornness, money, obviously. I think it's a really fascinating movie. It's really fun. It's real tense. I promise, out of all of the product-based movies that will come out this year, this is the best one so far. It'll stay out on top. Right now, I'm gonna give this movie a 4 out of 5. All right, thank you so much for watching this. If you made it this far, have you seen BlackBerry? Did you like it? Did you hate it? If you haven't seen it, do you plan on watching it? Please like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you want. Make sure you exercise every day, drink your milk, and have a great day.